a reason to fight.
Short time, and in one sense we feel like we're against the odds. Really, this is where this whole quarantine is coming from, because the odds of catching it and the thought of catching it's going on, and it's kind of a scary time. Now, I did a little number crunching. Now, this is not going to be uplifting, this part right now, but hang in there. It will get uplifting and rearrange this a little bit. But I wanted to give some statistics for a second. I didn't see these statistics, but I just calculated some numbers, so maybe my math is off. All right, but according to the numbers of COVID-19 right now in the United States, all right, totally is not uplifting, so hold on. So we got guys here laughing like, what? So right now, it's every 1 in 1,150 people have COVID-19 in the United States. All right, so that's not a great number. Now, however, if you're an odds guy, the odds look great, right? Like, it's a minimal odds in the United States, but we all know for some reason we are all very scared and frantic. Why? Because we know it's very contagious, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to go down that line too far, right? Now, in the Lehigh County here, where we live at, the odds are a little bit worse. It's actually 1 in every 450 people in the Lehigh County have COVID-19. And that has to do with the numbers, population, how many people here already have it. So 1 every 450 people. So if you take that for a second, again, I told you we're going down a little bad rabbit trail for a moment, all right? But you take that for a second and you think about going to the grocery store. How many people you think went to the grocery store in a day? So someone there probably had COVID-19 that went to the grocery store that day, all right? So again, I know not uplifting just yet, but I want to talk about the odds for a second, because those are odds we're scared about, right? We're scared about 1 in 450. That's kind of a frightening even figure to think about. Why? Because that one person can be so contagious. Here's a question. What if those odds were turned around, right? What if those odds were turned around? What if it was 1 Christian for every 450 people? And what if the devil got scared of that 1 Christian in the midst of that 450 people? It's amazing the power we give to this odd of the 1 in 450. But can we give that same power to a man or woman of God that is walking with Christ? Can we give that same weight, the weight of that fear and that thing that comes up in us feels with that? Do we have that same weight of faith and expectancy for a Christian that is going out and doing something for God? Do we have that same faith in ourselves going out that, you know what, I can make a change. I can make a difference. I can spread the gospel. I wanted to point out because we have these feelings that are attached to that number because of what we are aware, the value we put, and the understanding we have behind this disease. But my thing is I think we have a deficit of understanding about God and who we are in Christ. And even during this time, there's a big loss of identity of who we are. Right? Even with people losing their jobs or things being up in the air, people are asking themselves, who am I, right? Am I even a good father, a good mother? Am I good at this? Clean, and there's just a loss of identity in a lot of different ways. And I don't hear this being talked about. I hear a lot of things about fear, and we'll touch on that a little bit more as well. But what about identity during this time? Because a lot of us had our identity caught up in something we did. And when that shifts and changes, now we have to sometimes redefine our life or even ourselves. However, that's not what should be defining ourselves. Hopefully this vacancy of who am I or what do I do during this time, hopefully as we're in this disillusionment, we can hopefully get a new illustration or get a new vision of what our life and who we should be and who we actually are in Christ.